Let's start with that Supreme Court ruling. They've struck down the tariffs that were announced by President Trump's administration in line with the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. That's an act going back to 1977, I gather. Was the president wrong to have used that particular law?
Well, very good to be with you. Yeah, the Supreme Court, this was a pretty contentious body of law that had never really been decided before. So it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. Even the Court of Appeals in the United States was divided on this issue. And ultimately, the majority opinion determined that the president didn't have tariff authority. But as it went to the Supreme Court was able to decide this on two grounds. Whether in terms of the president's foreign policy powers, IEEPA governed this. IEEPA is the shorthand form for the law, or whether based on the text, based on congressional intent and legislative history, whether the president had this authority. Ultimately, the Supreme Court looked at the body of law, looked at the legislative history, looked at all of the other bodies of law that actually do give the president tariff authority, compared it against IEEPA, and ultimately determined that this body of law in particular only allows the president to block transactions like in sanctions, how the U.S. government uses sanctions, but does not allow the president or the executive branch to impose tariffs on imports.